Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Tonight I am going to attempt something I have never done before, way out of my comfort zone, but I just seen another color tubist do this in, not Johanna's books, but in a different book, and I just thought it looked so cool. So I asked her if it was okay if I did it on my channel, and she said yes, that was fine. This, I seen this done by Red Tifa Coloring. She has two parts to her video. The very first one is applying pastels, and the second one is going to be how she did this sunbeam effect in the background. Now, I'm going to be using pan pastels. She did not. You do not have to have pan pastels in order to do this. She used just the more budget-friendly stick, the little half-stick pastels that a lot of people have. What are they called? Myungo or something like that. Pastels. You know, your more inexpensive pastels like from Michael's or Hobby Lobby would be fine. You would just apply the pastels in the same way that you do for your backgrounds normally. So I thought I would do a picture here out of World of Flowers. Now what works the best for this particular background is something that is kind of circular where you have a center point that you can use. Maybe like a mandala where you have a background around the outside of the mandala that you would like to put some kind of color in would work fine too. I am using this particular picture and we are going to see if this works out or not. Have not attempted this. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and I measured this out already. This is just a hair under 10 inches, so I measured just a little bit under 5, and then the same was this way, just a hair under 10 inches. So again, I measured just a little bit under 5. So right here is my very center point. Now I can erase that later, but I need that center point, as you will see. Now what I want to do is apply different colors of pastels in rings until we get to the very outside of the page. Okay, the way that she did it is she went 1 inch for each ring of color. Okay, so she had an inch of white, she had an inch of yellow, inch of orange, pink, purple, and then blue. And then because the corners, of course, when you go into the corner, we're almost to 7 inches. After you hit the light blue, which will only be in the corner here, she put a little bit of dark blue, and I thought that looked awesome. So I'm going to do the same thing. Now I thought, let's be a little creative. And I thought maybe I could use my compasses or protractor or whatever out of this handy dandy little geometry set I had bought quite a while ago. Comes in this cute little zipper pouch. If anybody's interested in this, I can link this down below. You have this protractor, which has just 2 sharp points on either end. And that's what I thought I would do, is I would make it an inch big. And then I would go around and I would put my color in. And then I would make it 2 inches, and it just got to be a hassle. So I decided I was going to do it the way she did it. But the other protractors that are in here, here is one that has a lead in here and the sharp point, like the typical protractor you're used to. Here is one that you can put this pencil in, and it has refillable lead in here for this pencil. Okay, there's even a little sharpener in here. Here's your replacement leads, a couple little pencils, an eraser, 2 different size protractors. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff in here. So if you ever want to do circles or you know, straight lines, you know, this is a cute little set. I'm going to try to use it in the future and do some designs maybe in the background with this. So, all right. Now, I was originally going to use my iridescence pastels, but I didn't like how when I just kind of played with this a little bit, and it was on just cheap copy paper. It doesn't seem like the pearlescence erased as well. And to do this technique, you need to erase bits and pieces of the pan pastel. So I opted to just use the regular pastels, and I am going to use just the tints. We have the tints, the true colors, the shade, and the extra darks. So I'm going to use just the tints, the yellow, the orange, the red. Of course, the tint is pink. Then I'm going to use this purple. I think I'm going to use this pink versus this magenta tint. So I'm going to use that one. And then I'm going to use this blue. And then for the corner, I'm going to use this maybe with just a little dab of that to make it a little bit darker. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to take the covers off of, sure I am, off of these 2 trays. Well, let me turn them this way so I can have access easier to them. And then this tray. Why am I having problems? There we go. Okay, now I'm going to get out some of my little soft tools, the SOFT tools. I have a container here, and within this container I have a lot of my soft tools. These sponges that are made specifically for pan pastels. They work wonderfully. I'm not sure what this material is, but you can use makeup sponges, but you're going to waste some of your product, because if you use a makeup sponge, the sponge itself absorbs a lot of the pan pastels, whereas these, it kind of sits on top, so it blends much nicer with these. But I do have all kinds of the soft tools. The ones that I am going to use or attempt to use are these, because I think they are about the right size, the right shape for what I'm going to need them to do. Some of them are a little used, but I wiped them off on a paper towel, so they're kind of stained, but there is no pan pastel on there. Some of these, I have a number of them that need washing, and you can just wash them out, let them air dry with just a teeny bit of soap, and they're good as new. So I am going to let me get all of my stuff out of the way here so that I can put my pan pastels up here. I am not going to be using green in this, so I can put the rest of these over here and hope they don't fall. All right, let me get my other stuff over here. Okay, now Red Tifa did hers in two, I don't know if I just said this or not. I don't remember. She split up hers into 2 different videos. The first video shows how to apply the pastels. The second video shows how she did the, yeah, I did say that, didn't I? The sunbeam effect, and I will link both those videos down below. If that was a repeat, I'm sorry. Now you just heard it again. All right, so let's get out our book. All right, take this off, move it over here. Okay, let's get my stuff out of the way here. Need a little bit of extra room. You know, no matter how big a desk is, it's never big enough. Okay, I'm gonna have my sponges up here. So let's go with our 1st inch. And our 1st inch, I want a little bit of yellow to it, but yet not a lot. So I think maybe what I will do, I have the blender, which essentially is like a colorless blender. Okay, it's just this. Oh, and I just gouged it out with my fingernail. And yeah, it just says colorless blender on it, if you can see that. So it is a transparent blender. And I think maybe what I will try with one of these square sponges, and let me wipe this off in case I have something on there, especially where it's going to be so light. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some of this blender in the middle, just about an inch out. So that when I put the yellow on, it will be a little bit lighter. Now, if some of you feel you are good enough to just go with your pan pastels and do your thing without measuring, by all means, go ahead and do that. All right, now I am going to go in with the, no, you can't even see that. Let me pull my sleeves up for this. Okay. Like I said, way out of my comfort zone. Okay, so that was inch 1. So now inch 2 is going to be my yellow. So let's go with the okay, I'm confused. I thought, oh, okay. Never mind. I took the cover off from the pearlescence and I'm like, could have swore I had my yellows and oranges uncovered. It was from the other tray. All right, so let's take our pale yellow. We're going to go right through here. And we're not going to worry about, filling it completely in. We just want to see about where we should be, how far out with this yellow. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. Okay, so that essentially is where our yellow is going to go. All right, I'm going to put the yellow aside. Now we want to get out the orange, and we're going to put a little bit of the orange tint down. So there's our white, there's our yellow. Here comes in our orange. And you just keep going around from that center. All right, go up here. Let's see, white, yellow, orange. All right, like I said, this is the putziest part, but it looks so awesome when it's done. Okay, so essentially, here is our circle for the orange. Okay. Now you can see why I was thinking, oh, a protractor would be so nice. Let me zoom you in just a little. Okay, is that better? All right, so there is our orange. Now we are going to go on to our pink. We will go out another inch. So we got white, yellow, orange, and then between 3 and 4 is our pink. I'm concentrating, can you tell? Not as chatty as during a color and chat, and so. Like I said, way out of my comfort zone here. Measure one more. All right, so here is our pink, where our pink is gonna go. And we will be eventually blending all these colors together. So there is our next ring. The next ring is going to be our purple. So we're going to go out one more. We are going to be between the 4 and the 5. So on the sides and the top and bottom, this will be our last color. So let's go into the purple. But as you can see, up in the corners, we will be, you know, adding the blues. Oh, I got the blues. My ruler's going on top of my pan pastels up there. Like I said, desk just isn't big enough. But it will work. We will make it work. Okay. And around and around and around we go. Putsy part is almost done. Then comes the fun part of blending it all in. Okay. There is our last ring for the sides and the top and bottom. Okay. How is that looking? That is a little bright, isn't it? Maybe if I turn the light away a little bit. You know, I don't know. Lately when I film, no, it's quite dark in here. I have the patio door blinds, even though it is just about after sunset. I am working in quite dark in here, but yet it is so bright on the camera. So I hope this is turning out okay. I'm going to see if there's some setting I can set in this recording app that will help tone it down just a tad. All right, we are going to take the blue then, And we're not going to have to measure out too much here because it is only a little bit of blue that we are going to have to do, because that was 4 and 5, so now we got 5 and 6. So that's basically going to go to here. So we just have just a tad, little bit of a corner that's going to get dark. Okay, so 6 and 7. Nope, 5 and 6. Okay, then we got, move it over here, we have 5 and 6. All right, and then one more corner. We are going to have 5 and 6. Okay, now I could pretty much have guessed, you know, this one, but better to be on the safe side, right? Okay, so there are all of our rings. Now, let's start filling this in, and then we will eventually be blending it all together. So let's do the yellow ring first. And anybody that has worked with the pan pastels knows how wonderfully these blend out without having to add much more to your sponge. And I am going to blend it in to this light interior. Okay, let's go on to the orange. Pardon my arm. I have a bunch on my sponge, so I'm just going to try to get some around, and then we will start blending it. Now, if you wanted to apply these colors, you know, in sunbeam mode, you could do that too. Rather than going in the rings. I'm liking how this is looking already. And we haven't even really blended together yet. Because we'll have to go back over this again. Okay, there is the orange. Let's go to the pink. Have not played enough with my pan pastels to really become familiar with them, but they are awesome, as any of you that have them knows. Okay, there is some of our pink for now. Then we are going to go to our purple. I had a little too much on this sponge to begin with, I think. don't need much on your sponge with these pastels. Blend them together a little. So I am using a different sponge for each color. Now, could I wipe each one off and use it? Yes, but that would take more time. Okay, there is our purple. Then we are going to go with blue in the corners. And I may end up using some of the blender. Because it's not blending in to the purples too well, but we can work on that. All right, there are our colors. Now I'm going to just touch. It might have been even a little bit too much. And make it darker. Yeah, maybe a tad more. Make it a little bit darker. Maybe we'll use this other tone. And make it a little bit darker in the corners. Blend it out a little. Let's wipe some of that off. Go back with the white. Okay, so we have it a little bit darker. And I'm totally off camera. So we just have a little bit darker corner. So barely gonna touch that darker blue. And then we're gonna blend it out with the lighter blue. Let's wipe that off. Okay, so we will eventually blend that all out. Let's get some more lighter blue. Yeah, I put way too much down. Let's get my eraser. That's a nice thing about pan pastels. All pastels is they are very erasable. And okay, maybe I'll erase some of this out too. Got a little bit too much in here. Okay, let's, there, I like that better. Just a touch of the darker. Does that look a little better? So let's erase just some of this darker off, and the rest we can use. Maybe, we'll see. And yes, pastels are messy. No, that needs more erasing. Don't like that. was too blotchy. Let's erase all of it off. Okay, let's try this again with just a dab. Just the teeniest little dab. So that it's just a tad darker. Maybe just a tad more. So as you can see, you do not need much of this stuff at all. There, I like that a lot better. All right, so there are our rings. I really have to get in more of the lighter blue because now the darker blue really washed that out. But let's start again. I'm not even going to put any more color on this. We're just going to start blending these colors together. Let's try just a dab of the blender. And it does kind of help to blend the colors together, just like our other colorless blenders. Let me wipe this off and let's do this in the center. There, how does that look? Kind of wanted this blended out just a little more. Let me grab a little yellow and blend into that orange a little more. I was seeing too much of a line. There, I think that's better, huh? Okay, I like that better. All right, let's go on to the orange ring. That's over here. I'm going to start blending out into the pink. Again, we don't want a whole lot on our sponge. Just kind of go over the orange into the pink. And blend them together. Oh, I really like how those blended. Still not real happy with this yellow and orange. I can just see too distinct of a separation, but we are going to leave it alone for now. Then we have the pink, which of course blends into purple beautifully. Those two colors were made for each other. And the pink and the oranges always blend nice together too. I'm not sure why this is staying darker here. It's like it's attracting the pastel for some reason there. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it was from my finger, huh? because I had oils on. You know, you always have oils on your fingers. Maybe that's from my finger. Didn't think of that. Is it looking better? Again, I'm sorry for my arm going in front of you. It's the only place I could put the pastels. All right. Okay. Let's leave that for now, and let's go into the pretty purple. Yes, it is from my fingers. Darn it. I gotta quit holding the book. That's obviously what it's from, the oils on my fingers. Not getting quite seamless of blend as I was hoping, especially where my fingers were down at the bottom. Grr. Okay, oh well. It is what it is, right? Then we will grab the blue. Better make sure I don't have any of that dark blue on there. Okay. Try some more blender here. Yeah, I got two distinctive colors through here. Makes me mad. And over here again, I know because I was holding the book down here so much. That's why this is all stuck here. So, word of warning, don't hang on to your books. Or you get oils on your paper. And these are not oil pastels. Okay, how's it looking? It is much, much brighter on the camera than it is down here. It is not pure white in the center like it looks on my iPad. I don't know if that's what it looks like to you guys. I really want to try to blend out this purple just a little more into the blues. Here I am, hanging on to my book again. There, up there it looks better. But I don't like it down here. You can definitely see this line through here. I just don't like that. Oh well. I don't know if I got oils over there too, where I'm just not able to move that, because typically pan pastels move really, really easy, but I'm not going to spend any more time on it. We're going to leave it like this, and I think it looks pretty good. orange. Just kind of go over them once more. Okay, then the pink. And this darn stubborn purple. Okay. All right. We have the pastels on. The messy part is done. I am not super happy with it, but it is going to be what it is. Now, I have a disaster on my desk, so I am going to go get a wet paper towel or a baby wipe. I'm going to clean this mess up, and I will be right back. One moment. Okay, I am back. Now, let's kind of brush off our ruler. All right, now comes the fun part, and that is making the sun rays. All we're going to need is an eraser. Now, you would think out of all my erasers that I have in here that I would have a number of erasers that would work. This one, of course, is too big. You want a thinner one. So I thought my Tombow Mono would work perfect because it has that teeny tiny little eraser. It does not erase this real well though. It's too small. You don't really want to use your electric erasers on this, and I'd have 2 of those. And of course, you don't want to use abrasive erasers or the putty. I have my Prismacolor putty in there too. So what I found that is probably going to work the best out of all of these is I have a couple, I bought a double pack of these Faber-Castell pencil erasers, and I can link these down below too. This worked the best out of when I just attempted something on my own. So let's give this a try. Now you're going to want to do, I'm not going to go across the whole book. I'm going to only do half at a time, because when you do your sunbeams, they're not symmetrical, you know, from top to bottom or anything. So I'm going to only do a half of the page at a time. So what we're going to do is start from our center, and we're going to erase. Okay, so we get a sunbeam. Start at the center again, and we will do another one. And we will just be going around like this. I'm going to do one a little bit closer. And I'm hoping that's where my center was yet. Yeah. Now, I'm going to do one real close here. And what you can do then, you can take your little bit bigger one and you can erase with a little bit bigger one in between here. And you're going to have a thicker sunbeam then here. Okay, let me get this light down a little bit. It's a little too dark, but I don't want it bright either, because it's way too bright for you guys. Okay, get our center point again. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to do one farther apart. And red Tifa makes this look so much easier. Okay, let's get our midpoint again. But she has done a number of these. So now how am I going to do this with my book being stubborn over here? Have to bend the cover back good. Let's go right up to the corner. Okay, how are our sunbeams looking? Let's do a skinnier one. And let's do one right next to it so we can make a thick one again. And just erase in between here. So then we got a little bit thicker. Let's erase this a little better up here. Okay, start down here. I think I have to sharpen this a little using my M&R. Okay, don't want it real sharp because then it would just break off. Okay, let's go here. And I was surprised when I tried this that I had to erase as hard as I did to get the, you know, usually pan pastels erase really easily. But I was having a difficult time. All right, and we shall keep going. And we'll do a thin one here. Now if you want to do yours symmetrical, you know, that's fine. You want them all the same width apart, go for it. And I know in the center, because it's so light, you probably can't even see it because it is so bright on the camera. And we are going to make this one a thicker sunbeam again. So every once in a while, I'm going to make a thicker one. All right, next one. We're getting there, folks. You hanging in with me? Okay, book, cooperate. I'm already out of my comfort zone here. Well, pan pastels are in the way up there. Okay, let's do a wide one. How are we looking? do a little bit thinner one here, if my book lets me. And you can do as many or as few as you want. And then of course I will have to spray this with a fixative. And again, we're going to go right to the corner. So that worked out rather well. Never thought it would be so hard to erase pastels. I know in the past when I have erased pan pastels, it was not nearly this difficult. I don't know if it's because I pushed them into the paper so much with all the blending. Could be. And that's why they're a little bit harder to erase. But it will be worth the effort, I think. So this pencil works really well for this. It's just the right width. Let's do a little bit wider one. And then we're going to make this a thicker one. Where's my bigger eraser? There we are. Just seems to go faster and easier when I erase in between the lines with that one. Alrighty. And I am probably making it look much more difficult than what it should be. But I do like the effect. I think this picture is going to be very pretty. Excuse me. All right. And again, we're going to go right to the corner. And because these are pretty similar in width, I'm going to put one kind of in between here so that they're a little different. There, I like that better. Okay, we are coming up around the other side finally. Now again, if you want, you can, go all the way across. I didn't trust myself doing that. I felt more comfortable just doing half at a time. Okay, let's come down around this way. Now, yeah, we'll have to start up here because it's too difficult to go where you've already raced. You can't see where you were. So we're gonna go this way and come back around. Where's my spot? There we are. Where's me brush? There it is. Okay. Let's do a narrow one. And we're going to make that a thick one. So go real close to it. Again, take our bigger eraser. It erases a little bit better and make it thicker. And let's go out here. Let's do a narrow one. Oops. Oh no, I'm down to the wood, that's why. It made a mark. I'm gonna have to see if I can get that off. That will upset me. We'll have to see if I can fix that. And we're going to go right up to the corner again. It worked out really good this time. Make it a little narrower. So I'm just kind of switching it up each time I do one. Some you do farther apart, some you do closer. I think we're going to do another thick one here. Okay. Hey, we only have this one side to do. So it's a little time consuming, you know, a little putsy, but a lot of the stuff we do for our coloring books is putsy, but if it turns out pretty, it is so worth it, right? And I guess stepping out of our comfort zones here and there is a good thing. That's another good thing about this channel, is it is making me step out of my comfort zone here and there. And I do plan to do more of that in the future. Okay. And we only have a few more to do. Almost done, folks. We're almost done. You hanging in with me, or do you already go on to the next video? Okay, and I'm gonna go, well, no, that's kind of wide. I think we'll do two more. And last but not least, let's see, we'll go right here. All right, folks. Now again, it looks so super bright on that camera. It is not that bright. Oh, it rubs out. Oh, good. Good, good, good. It's not ruined. It rubs out. Yay, hooray. Okay, the mark is gone. Okay, well, let's go over it. Get all the eraser marks off. I will now spray it. I will go and spray it with a workable fixative. We don't want a final fixative on it because I plan on coloring in this picture with my Prismacolor pencils. So if you have, if you're going to be coloring with darker Prismacolor pencil, it can probably go, right over the top. Your lighter colors are, of course, going to take on the color of the pan pastel underneath. So I am suspecting I'm going to have to go and probably erase, where the picture itself is. But I will do that off camera. And I'm not, going to worry about it if it's, exactly like I want to make sure I can get these leaves green. So I'm just going to make sure, that I erase what I have to. And we're really blurry now, aren't we? It's a little better. Okay, so I'm going to go through here and I'm going to erase what I have to. I have no idea, what color I'm going to be coloring any of this stuff yet. The leaves, of course, are going to be green. And for your finer little things, I'll probably either go in with my mono eraser or even my pencil eraser. It seems for this, the mono eraser actually works pretty good. So I think I will take some time. Again, might seem a little putsy, but I do think in the long run, it will be worth it. I think it's going to be gorgeous. Gorgeous, darling, gorgeous. So, because I picked Johanna Basford because I did have a request, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video. I had a request from a subscriber to color a nature picture, not a mandala or anything, but a nature picture out of one of Johanna's books. So I thought, well, let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's try this background technique on a Johanna Basford picture. And then I can color it in and we will see the results of both things. So what do you think about the sunbeam background? I like how it turned out. Could it be better? Definitely. Definitely. I think it looks much, much better now that I got these sunbeams in. And I may, look it over and decide, oh, I really want one in here, which I do. That's too far apart. So I am probably going to be off camera, maybe adding one here and there, probably adding a thicker one in through here because there's no thick ones down here. So I'm going to be kind of going through and just changing it up just a tad. But then in the near future, I would like to start coloring this with pencil with you guys and do a color and chat. So I guess that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I will link the products that I had mentioned down below, along with Red Tifa's 2 videos where she shows how she did it. So again, go and check out her 2 videos. Again, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you did, hit that like button and subscribe if you are new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a terrific weekend, and as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.